Hey everybody! Woo-hoo! That's how you started with a throat full of phlegm.
What an idiot!
That was you're ruining the surprise. So I'm back Sunday Live. It's week 16. It's championship week. We gotta get at it. Jason already ruined the surprise, but producing today's show, not Brooks.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop.
It is not our fearless producer, the handsome one in the Santa hat. It is in fact Jason Moore. Who is joining us because look, it's week 16. You got to get the best takes for these questions, for these tilty questions. So I brought Jason Moore aboard.
Together, we're going to win some hashtag Foot Clan titles.
So let us get to number one. I guess I got a little confused there, but by Jason. But welcome to Sunday Live. Thank you for joining the show. We're happy to have you here. We know there are many places you could be looking for quality information, but none more qualitier than here is what we say. That's our motto. It's on the wall in the kitchen. To the news, the big news of the day, Derrick Henry. What happened? That sucks. That really sucks if you were counting on Derrick Henry in your championship week. He was downgraded. Jay, was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, I mean, we got the news. We saw it yesterday that he was downgraded, and with the downgrade was the activation of another running back, which is never a good sign. But keep in mind, Dion Lewis had been struggling with injury himself this week.
But Dion Lewis is now the nominal starter for the Titans. They are very shallow at the running back position. But so Derrick Henry is out. Let the tilting commence about that. And then the other big the big news blurb was Minnesota. What's going to happen with those running backs? Because, that rascally Mike Zimmer, his guys might play. What are you doing, man? So Dalvin Cook is out. That's official. He was ruled out. Now all the reports, as they should be, are saying Alexander Mattison is going to miss. The Vikings are in the playoffs. That has been secured by the Rams losing. There is still a way for them to win the division if they beat the Packers this week, and then if the Lions beat the Packers next week.
That's a good one.
So slim chance of that happening. But anyways, regardless, Minnesota's still playing for a possible division win. Madison, I have full confidence that Madison is going to miss. Jay, do you have anything inside the bubble guts saying that maybe Madison suits up?
No, nothing inside the bubble guts, and I've got a giant bubble gut. So, look, Alexander Madison's not playing. He didn't practice at all. He did not participate. He was on the sideline doing individual stuff. He's not playing in this game. You fire up Boone like a starter. I think he's going to be a decent RB2.
So I have currently, Mike Boone sitting right around running back 17. Jay, do you have your rankings pulled up?
Of course I have my rankings pulled
What
up.
a professional.
I have my.
Where do you got it? You got him right around that range, a little higher, a little bit lower than me?
A little bit lower. I've got him running back 19 right now.
All right. I was talking to Jason before the show. It's the DeAndre Washington, Mike Boone. If somehow you had to make that decision, that's a very, very tough decision. Other news items that we should go through. Oh, yeah. Kerryon Johnson's back.
Woo!
Yeah. He is going to play. Then he's going to, quote, share carries with Bo Scarborough. I was listening to the show, Jen. You guys briefly talked about Kerryon Johnson. I'm actually of the side that if they're bringing him back for literally nothing, I don't think he's going to be eased in. I think he will get the Kerryon Johnson workload that he would expect to get regularly. That's not a full-time situation, but I think it's good enough that you can flex him in if you are getting desperate. Maybe you had Dalvin Cook, he's out. Maybe you had Jacobs out, and you didn't have your handcuffs, and now you're scrambling on the waiver wire for a running back. I think
I was going to bring up Kerryon Johnson because that's in my contract as a must.
Yes, contractually obligated.
Yes,
absolutely.
But if I had Derrick Henry And
that's a good point.
My options are Dion Lewis, who's been kind of banged up and been terrible for years and is playing against the Saints.
Yeah.
Or Kerryon Johnson. It's scary because you don't know how the usage is going to be. But personally, and this should surprise nobody because of my love for Kerryon Johnson, I would actually pick up Kerryon Johnson in that situation and play him.
All right. And then Damian Williams was removed from the injury report. I think that he is back to the starter of the Chiefs for the running back committee. We're back. We're back in action. So that's the big news. There's no real weather concerns today, thankfully, at least that we know of right now. Nothing has come through. So let's get to the questions. Oh, Christian Kirk is going to play. That's what I've heard. Jay, have you heard that?
Yep, he's active.
So he's interesting. He's tough. It was supposed to come down to a game-time decision. He's in a great situation with a matchup against the Seattle secondary, but the fact that he was going to be a game-time decision, it's still tough. Are you playing Kirk with full confidence, Jay?
No, I'm not playing Kirk with full confidence. He hasn't been great as of late, and he's dealing with a legitimate injury, so he could be fine. It's not a terrible matchup this week, but certainly not full confidence.
So that leads us to this first question from the Assault on Reason. Says, Darius Slayton or Christian Kirk? Ooh. Would you go that far down? Man, Slayton has been on fire. Very, very impressive rookie season. Daniel Jones is back. He will be the quarterback for the New York Giants if you had been sleeping the entire week. Goodness. I lean that I think I would play Slayton.
Yeah, I get it. It really is a close one.
I got to adjust that in my rankings.
This would be one where I would go Christian Kirk. Darius Slayton has been great, but then Sterling Shepard has been good. And then it was like, okay, well, when Daniel Jones was playing, it was Slayton. But then Sterling Shepard wasn't really playing. Yeah. So to me, one of those guys is going to have a good game. I don't know who. I would rather take who I'm more confident is the one in Arizona in Kirk.
And what we should try to do, Jason, is every single question.
I love where you're going here.
I will take one player.
And I got the other.
You take
Yes, we'll never be wrong.
All right. Justin Tilley. So this is an interesting question. Ryan Tannehill, who also has been on fire. I heard that we renamed the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
To the Tennessee
Titans.
Titans. Last year they were the Tennessee Derrick Henrys.
Yeah. So maybe it's the Tennessee Henrys.
Oh. Yeah. So the Ryan Tannehill or the ailing Dak Prescott, who Prescott is in a plus matchup. It is a division matchup, but a plus matchup nonetheless against the Philadelphia Eagles and their secondary. However, he's dealing with the hairline fracture in his index finger and the shoulder where he couldn't move his shoulder for most of the week. That's it. Ryan Tannehill. So we'll talk to this real quick, Jay. The Derrick Henry move that he is no longer playing this week for the Titans. How does that affect Ryan Tannehill to you? Because I think the easy thing to say is the attempts are going to go up. The passing attempts will go up for Ryan Tannehill. Does that matter for Ryan Tannehill? Will he actually have increased production or decreased because a team doesn't have to worry about Derrick Henry, who is just a absolute beast of a man?
Yeah, passing attempts will go up. The ease of those attempts will go down. I think it's going to be mostly a wash, and this really comes down to what you believe in Ryan Tannehill as his personal talent and in A.J. Brown, because he's going to get the Lattimore treatment. Can he win? And that's really what it comes down to. I think A.J. Brown's the real deal. I think he can win. So I'm sticking with Tannehill.
So you're going Ryan Tannehill over Dak Prescott. Right now I have Tannehill just 2 spots ahead of Dak Prescott, but I would go with Ryan Tannehill, the healthier quarterback. That's rough for Dak this week because he should have been an easy top 5 guy. All right. Matthew Finch says, should I start Thielen or Anthony Miller? So Anthony Miller, the Chicago Bears finally realized it took them, half of the season to say, oh, perhaps this wide receiver that we drafted in the second round, maybe we should use him. And now they're using him, and Anthony Miller is absolutely killing it. Meanwhile, Adam Thielen has been a monster fantasy bust. Injury. It's always hard to crush somebody and call them a bust because they got hurt. Everybody can get hurt in the NFL at any given moment. But Adam Thielen or Anthony Miller, I am going to play Adam Thielen from this. Anthony Miller gets matched up with the Chiefs, who have suddenly turned into a lockdown defense against quarterbacks against quarterbacks, and their secondary is much improved. Adam Thielen this is the second game back, should be healthy, should be good to go. That primetime matchup, Kirk Cousins' primetime matchup, which, as we have discovered, doesn't matter. So that's where I'm going to go with Adam Thielen. Jay, do you disagree with that?
No, I do agree. I'm going to go. They both
You're doing it wrong, Jason.
Yes, Miller. They both have poor matchups. But the reality is Anthony Miller, even though he had so many targets this last week and over the last several, Mitchell Trubisky has been averaging 33.1 passing attempts per game over his previous 7 games. Last week, he threw the ball 53 times. I don't expect that to be the case. Kansas City, you think it's a high-scoring game, but they've been locked down against wide receivers. So I lean Adam Thielen.
I think the attempts will stay up for Trubisky. I think Matt Nagy has realized that Trubisky can't game manage. That's not who he is as a quarterback. He is set up to fail.
My point
if
is
you
that
try and make him that.
That's a one-game thing. Listen to his passing attempts. So last game, 53. Before that, 31, 38, 41, 43, 23, 21.
But I'm saying those mid-30s, that's where I think he'll end up.
Sure. And I think at mid-30s, Allen Robinson is safe and Anthony Miller's a question mark.
All right, this next question's from Can. I don't know if this is someone starting a question or if they are saying their preferred liquid container.
I'm going to say, yes, you can.
Mike Boone or Kareem Hunt? I think that's a pretty healthy Mike Boone for me.
Yeah, Mike
Kareem
Boone,
Hunt's a fine play, but...
Yeah, Mike Boone has, I think, a higher ceiling because of the matchup against Baltimore for Kareem Hunt.
Yep. Want to take a moment here, pause. Thank you for joining us Sunday Live, Week 16. Oh, man. If you haven't already cried in the shower this weekend, you're doing it wrong. And want to thank our studio sponsor, as always, Pristine Auction. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on, supporting this independent podcast. Check them out, best sports memorabilia site of all time. Make a completely free account. You bid for free. You only pay for what you win. Like, we win stuff on Pristine Auction all the time. We had a big, huge giveaway with Pristine Auction. That video, it's still on the YouTube, right, guys?
Yeah, it sure
right?
is.
YouTube's forever. That's what I'm told. All right, next question. Georgie Porgy says, Mark Andrews or Darren Waller in a full PPR. George, how are you in the – what? It's week 16 and you got Mark Andrews, Darren Waller questions? That's tough, man. That's tough. In a full PPR, I've got Darren Waller one spot ahead of Mark Andrews.
Next question. I mean,
that's a brutal one.
Yeah, that's tough. They're both great. I like you. I've got Waller one spot ahead. Okay. I do think the ceiling is higher for Andrews. So if you want to go with a ceiling play, you think who's got a better chance of a multi-touchdown game? That's going to be Baltimore and Lamar.
That's definitely Mark Andrews. We got next question is from Dibby Cake. Give me a slice of the Dibby Cake. Boone or Mac? PPR.
Oh, PPR, making it difficult.
Yes.
Still Mac for me. He's my start of the week. I think the matchup at Carolina at home in a favored game. We know Mac is a very good running back. Boone is hopefully going to perform well.
Yeah, there is a reason why Boone was the third-string running back, and he's only getting an opportunity now because that guy got hurt and that guy got hurt. Talking about Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison. He's fine, but I would go with Marlon Mack here as well. The PPR situation, that does make it a little bit trickier because I expect Boone to catch at least a handful of passes, boost those numbers, and then you get to screen point every time your running back catches the ball. It's a very fun thing. If you have not started doing this, we do this when we're watching the games. It started with Austin Ekeler. Just every time he catches the ball, you scream point. It's really fun. I highly suggest it for all.
It feels good.
It feels really good.
Point!
Especially when your voice blows out with phlegm.
Point!
All right. Brooks, you're monitoring the news waves for anything breaking?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything broke?
Nope.
Cool. Thanks, Brooks. Thank you for your contribution to this show. Next question. Would you play – this is from Logan Betts. Would you play Decaf, Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett in the same lineup? How confident are you that Seattle is going to make it rain points on Arizona? Should be the question.
Yeah, I would prefer to divvy up my options. I think Lockett is better than Metcalf in this matchup.
I agree.
Taking both of them ensures one of them will hit, but it kind of limits your upside in a championship week.
Yeah, and do recall, Tyler Lockett was a middling – I think he was even a QB2 when he played Arizona earlier in the year.
Lockett? That's weird, man.
Did I say Lockett?
You did.
I'm in championship form over here, everybody. Russell Wilson. And Enzo Facto, how did Lockett do against Arizona that first time?
I think –
Was he okay? I don't remember.
I'll bet it.
All right. Not really important, just remembering that just because Arizona's a great matchup.
Kind of important, right? How he fared against the team he's about to play?
Yeah. I'm just saying that it was a while ago, and just because that happened last time doesn't mean it will happen this time.
7 fantasy points, the wide receiver 40. That was when Will Disley had all of the points.
All right. Well, good luck with that one. All right, next question is coming in from a lot of Mike Boone questions. I don't blame you. All right. Robert Connor just wanted to say thank you. Thanks, Robert.
Oh,
that's very nice of you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Matthew Rupert wants to know Mark Ingram or Austin Ekeler. PPR.
Oh.
See what I did there?
Yeah, because
you weren't sure which way to go. And then I threw in the PPR.
It's still Ingram to me.
It's still Mark Ingram for me as well. He gets the matchup with Cleveland. I totally buy into the fact that the Ravens were embarrassed the last time they played Cleveland. The Ravens were a very different team earlier on in the season. Like they were a plus matchup. They're as crazy as it is to remember that, the Ravens were a plus matchup for wide receivers, and Cleveland was able to take advantage of it. And
they had no Marcus Peters, no Jimmy Smith.
They are not a plus matchup anymore. All right. Let's see here. Nacho Business says, Joe Mixon, do you still play him?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. That was very easy. In the listener league, I scooped up Gio Bernard and crossed every crossable part of my body, hoping that Joe Mixon was not going to play.
Was not going to play?
Yeah, because I wanted to play Gio.
Get out of here. Gio has sucked all year.
Gio would be perfect. I heard you guys talking about this on the show. Gio Bernard would be perfectly fine against Miami if Joe
Mixon has a stomach bug now, in addition to the calf problem.
Oh, that Mixon, you should not play. We're also playing him in League One, Jason.
We're playing against Mixon?
We're playing against Mixon.
Please don't play Mixon. Let's just sit this one out. I think he is about 70 yards away from getting 1,000, so he's going to play.
Oh, crap. Get it next week, dude. I mean, only cowards put up numbers against the Dolphins. That's what I've been told.
I think you just called Mixon a coward because he going to put up numbers against the Dolphins.
I didn't. You did.
Fine with that.
Sunday Live in full effect. All right. Oh, yeah. It would not be a Sunday Live without digging into the weeds here. Steven Sullivan wants to know, Darius Slayton or Greg Ward in a full-point PPR. This is the championship material that I am here for. Darius Slayton or Greg Ward. Ugh, gross. That's so gross. I love it. All right, Greg Ward, surprisingly decent last week, especially in a PPR situation. That's still devoid of wide receiver weapons. Jay, how do you lean between Slayton and Ward?
I think Greg Ward is someone that is getting rapport and will get targets, but it's not a great matchup.
Getting rapport.
Yeah, I see what you did there. But I would still go Slayton. We've seen many big games from Slayton. We've seen Ward starting to get a connection.
What did he end up with last week?
Last week he had a very good game.
It was pretty solid.
I think he's had 9 targets the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks, 7 for 61, and he did score. So, I mean, if it's just 7 for 61, that's still a solid game, especially when you're asking between these two types of players. But he does play Dallas this week. That is not the same matchup as Washington. I lean Slayton as well. To stick with the Slaymeister there. Next question. Did that make you laugh, Brooks? The Slaymeister? Sometimes you just...
Was that a murderous joke or a holiday
That
joke?
was a holiday joke.
Okay, I wasn't sure which sleigh we were going with.
That's the one. Why not both?
Why not both? He's murdering while being pulled in a sleigh.
All right. Scott Dimitri says Chark or Hilton, half point. He also then screamed footballers for life, so we better answer this question and get it right. DJ Chark coming off of the injury or TY Hilton coming off of the injury?
I'll take the guy who's been back off of the injury for an extra week. So that would be Hilton.
That one, okay, so we got T.Y. Hilton against Carolina.
Chark against Atlanta.
Oh, my gosh. That one is brutal, man.
You got the Minshew connection back.
And DJ Chark, if I'm remembering correct, he was close to playing last week.
It's hard to tell. He didn't practice much, but Marone was like, he should play
Yeah,
always.
like he's in, but then he was out, and T.Y. Hilton was in and out of the field, even though he was the target leader. Boy, what a fun game that was. That
was a real...
That was an absolute barn burner. Let's see, next one. Volcanic gas. This one has to go right to Jason.
Yes, as I asked it.
I didn't say you asked it. I said you're the one who has to answer it.
Okay.
Lewis or Jay Washington?
Dion Lewis? It's an easy Wait, James Washington or DeAndre Washington?
Jay.
Oh,
Jay
man.
Washington. I believe he means George Washington.
Yeah. Yes, that's how you spell George, is with the J. So James Washington or Dion Lewis, that is where I will actually
I'm going to go Dion Lewis.
Go to Dion Lewis. Juju Smith-Schuster, active.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, good for you, Juju. Victor wants to know Kenyan Drake off of his big, monstrous, ridiculous, out-of-nowhere game. Kenyan Drake or DeAndre Washington? Kenyan Drake gets to play Seattle. DeAndre Washington gets to play the Chargers. DeAndre Washington, he is tough because I think he's a fine RB2, a nice replacement. Will he actually get those targets that he got the 1 week that he was replacing? So 2 weeks ago when he had to replace Josh Jacobs kind of last minute, was that just fluky or was that actually by design? And I don't know where I lean with that one, since they didn't really use Josh Jacobs like that. So this wasn't a 1-for-1 replacement. It was all of a sudden a backup running back came in, and they gave him even more work than Josh Jacobs was getting. More responsibilities.
I think they ran the ball less, passed the ball more, which ended up with more of those dump-offs. So I do expect it to hold for DeAndre Washington, which is why I've got him around running back 20. But I would
go the Chargers winning.
I would go Drake here.
All right, Drake against Seattle. We got time for a couple more questions. Thank you for joining Sunday Live as always. Remember, we are a year-long fantasy football podcast, so clearly by the end of today or maybe tomorrow, you're going to be a hashtag FootClan champion. The show is not going to go away. We're going to be here bringing the comedy, bringing the fun, most importantly, bringing that football information. We're going to shift into the truth. We're going to shift into rookie talk. That's always a fun time of season when it's that February combine, new players, new very exciting guys. So make sure you stick around even after you win that title. All right, couple more questions here. Louis Jacques, Gordon or Ekeler? No scoring format given. Gordon or Ekeler? I have Ekeler one spot ahead of Melvin Gordon. How do you have them ranked, Jason?
I have Gordon ahead.
Uh-oh.
Because he gets the work, but he has finished behind most weeks. I think
that's why I made the decision to flip it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go with what's been happening. I think I go Ekeler here.
Ekeler is what's happening. Chris Lore, T.Y. Hilton, the injured man, or DeAndre Washington in a PPR?
DeAndre Washington.
Washington is definitely safer. Does T.Y. Hilton have a Hilton ceiling to you this week, or are you still
I don't think
concerned with his injury?
I don't think he has the capability here to put up, the 142 yards on 7 receptions like he can do.
Oh, let's see here. Let's see. Tyler Poole says, do you go with my start of the week, Miles Sanders, or Mike Boone, running back 2 in a standard scoring format? I am going to go with Miles Sanders. I'm going to go with the player who has been getting it done, has been getting all the work. We all say the probability is Mike Boone. The probability is Mike Boone is the guy, but you can't say for sure. What you can say for sure is Miles Sanders is the dude for Philadelphia, and they need the running back position very much so with no weapons. Do you disagree, Jay? Would you play Mike Boone over Miles?
I would play Miles Sanders, but okay. Man alive, everyone watching, we need Miles Sanders to have a big game. We need him to have a big game. So root for Miles Sanders if you're not playing against him.
Yep, that is true. All right, let's get out of here on this question. All right, well, we'll do a couple.
Well, while you look for that, let me just illustrate the Melvin Gordon, Austin Ekeler.
Okay.
Last week, Melvin Gordon running back 45, Ekeler 25.
Okay.
Week before, Gordon 12, Ekeler 1. Week before,
That's
Gordon
better.
23, Ekeler 18. Game before, Gordon 24, Ekeler 6. Ekeler just he finishes better than Gordon.
He does. All right, we'll do rapid through a few here because it's week 16. Mr. No Joke says Lockett or Boone in the flex. That's Tyler Lockett for me. Would you play?
It's Boone for me.
You take the safer play of Boone?
Yep.
Okay. Anthony says Dak or Ryan Fitzmagic. Wow.
I've got Dak ahead.
You got Dak ahead. I have Dak ahead as well, but just by a handful of spots. I think, look, if there is a tugging in your heart that you should go with Ryan Fitzpatrick, I would listen to it personally. I think that Fitzpatrick is a fine play this week, and Dak with that injury, you have no idea. Jay, did you guys talk about someone who I think it was Gallup released the information that during the game, during last week, he said anytime an RPO was called, he says, I don't care what the read is. I'm not throwing the ball. I'm going to hand it off every single time.
We did bring that up. Yeah, he was going to hand the ball off no matter what the read because he couldn't throw it. He pretty much didn't throw it. That's why you had Cooper with 19 yards, Gallup with 6, Cobb with -3. And they just ran the ball, and then he didn't practice for the first time in his career, multiple games. I'm worried about Dak, but at the same time, the reports are coming out that Saturday he was throwing pretty much without any limitations. He feels good now. If it is an AC joint sprain, he should be fine. If it's a rotator cuff issue, he will not be fine. They have said it's an AC joint sprain.
Yeah.
But they very well could be liars.
What happens when he falls on it?
It probably hurts.
That's my biggest concern with it is, yeah, okay, great, you're throwing it at practice. I understand that, but you don't have 300-pound men trying to hurt you and drop you right on your shoulder. That's a pretty big difference. All right, final question. Getting out of here on this one. It's from Macho Man. He says, ooh, James Conner or Mike Boone, yeah.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go Mike Boone.
It is a good one. All right.
You got to finish it by going with the other direction.
James Conner. That makes it easy. No, I do have Mike Boone ranked higher. A decent amount higher as well.
Also, update to the rain because of the Ryan Fitzpatrick question. It looks like the heavy rain that is coming in Florida is hitting west of Miami, and it looks like the rain won't be a factor until towards the end of the game or after the game.
Excellent. That's great news for that entire situation because, there's a lot of good fantasy players in that matchup. Thank you for joining us for Sunday Live. We will see you tomorrow with the podcast when we will review all of your championship wins. Go get it. Go get that hardware. #FootClan titles. We want to hear all about it on social media as well. Good luck, everybody. I hope you don't tilt too hard. I can't say the same for myself or Jason.
Oh, I'm already tilted off the face of the earth.
So, good luck, and remember, keep it beautiful. Mwah! Goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow.